I should have put that on Usher. For the same reasoning, though, right? If they have the extinction or whatever, I do what I want, then, you know, it's not a good thing. Anyways, I think we can just study break and maybe fight as one to victory here, right? Just the one. Just the one. We'll take an expanded anatomy, a little fight as one, action, bam, bam. What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be diving into a mono-white aggro deck that has been dominating the arena, but we're not just going to be diving into the standard, like, here, go spend all your non-existing wildcards on this deck. No, we're playing a budget version, because I know Strixhaven, I mean, I'm sure everyone's feeling it, right? You went and opened packs, and half of them contain rares from a format you don't even play in, right? I'm talking about you, Historic. Anyways, if that happened to you, if you didn't happen to get as much from your standard set this go around as, well, what you were hoping, expecting, or used to, really, then you're like me and you're going to be looking for a lot of budget decks this set because, again, we kind of get screwed. We can be real. We can be honest with you, Wizards. We got screwed. But that's not going to stop us from building some super awesome decks. So this deck actually only requires 3 new rare wildcards if you already have the previous ones that we're going to mention. But those 3 are going to be used on Leonin Lightscribe. Now, obviously, honestly, whatever. If you have 4 copies of it, use 4 copies. It's a fantastic card, and it can definitely, you know, be useful as a 4 of instead of a 3. It's not a legendary, so you don't have to worry about that. What this Cat Cleric does is whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control are going to get +1/+1 until end of turn. It's a 2/2 for 2 mana, so it's just very low to the ground. It's very efficient. You slap this into a Lotus deck, which is one of the previous rares that we'll be pulling into this deck. And then you can just return all of these 2 CMCs or less to the battlefield. You can constantly have creatures out, constantly be casting spells, as we have a slew or a plethora, however you want to call it, of spells to go alongside our creatures. The other old, I say old, the previous, whatever, rares that you're going to need or want, I guess you don't necessarily need them, but they are certainly helpful in picking up those fringe games where you're like, how do I get to a victory? What do I do? Oh yeah, I have these guys. And again, if you have 4 copies, run 4 copies. Faceless Haven is fantastic. We're only running 2 because I want to show y'all that, hey, you don't need all of that in a bag of potato chips in order to win with this deck. You literally, for the most part, just need that Leonin. Facelesses are nice. Lotus, pretty important to the base of the deck, but if you don't have a Lotus, I would recommend going for a more classic style mono-white aggro deck where you can play, you know, Skyclave Apparitions and some of those other rares that you may have had from, again, previous sets, right? So, diving into some of the new cards that you will be needing to pick up from Strixhaven, and these aren't, you know, rares or mythics, but uncommons and commons. So, Clever Luminancer, 1 mana, 0/1. You've had to have seen this card before. I said in the preview of the set that it was going to be busted, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty busted. So, whenever you cast it or copy an instant or sorcery, gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Now, if you have this down plus Leonin Lightscribe, every time you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, all of your Clever Luminancers are going to get +3/+3, which means it's going to be a 1 mana creature that can swing in for 3 and has 4 toughness. So 1 mana 3/4 is just, you know, the value. I don't even need to explain that. Moving us along, we have Defiant Strike. We've all seen this before, but it is a nice little card to cycle itself out, right? Draw a card, it costs 1 mana, so it sort of cycles itself. It adds additional damage to our creatures that are already going to get additional damage from just us casting it, and it's only 1 mana. It's an instant speed spell. It's really good. Fairy Godmother can give you that evasiveness in flying whenever you need it. 2 mana, right? Target creature gets +2/+1, and it's only a common, and it has flying in and of itself, so whenever you get it down, it can be the evasive creature. Fight as 1 helps you protect your stuff. Guiding Voice is a new card from Strixhaven. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and you get to learn. Now, the way you're going to want to be using Guiding Voice in your matches is actually selecting the thing that you think your opponent won't be targeting the most. Does that make sense? So if you have a 1/1 token from Clarion Spirit, and you got, you know, Clever Luminancer, and maybe you got a Leonin Lightscribe down, don't use Guiding Voice to put a +1/+1 counter on your Leonin Lightscribe or on your Clarion Spirit. Instead, put it on that 1/1 Spirit token, right? That way, when your opponent goes to remove something, they're not going to remove all your value in one creature, right? In a single targeted removal. Unless, of course, you have Fight as 1 and you're going for lethal, you know, just saying, judge it sort of situationally. Anyways, furthermore, this is a 1 mana allow us to learn spell, which is really nice because then we get to hop over here and, you know, use one of these cards that I will say their value is certainly reduced, but being able to call on one at any point in time, or being able to pick whichever one you may need the most at a certain point, is probably the nice thing about it, right? So we have Environmental Sciences, search the library for basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, and gain 2 life. Fantastic, as it allows you to make sure you're not going to get screwed. We're only playing 19. Sorry, we're not playing 19. We're playing 22 lands, which is plenty for most best of 1 decks. But of course, you will have those, you know, games, those days where you just don't draw lands, and so you'll want to draw with Environmental Sciences. Anyways, reduce to memory helps you get rid of any non-land permanent the opponent may have, planeswalkers, enchantments, blah, 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 blah. They do get a 3/2 spirit on the back end of that, but a lot of the times that's going to be more worthwhile than, you know, dealing with a Yugen or whatever. And then, you know, just a couple other things. Increase your creature's powers, late game, add a lot of creatures. You don't need this mascot exhibition. Majority of the times, 99.999% of the times, you will never cast this card. But you know, if you got it and you want to throw it in there for those rare occasions when you get to, go for it, okay? But by all means, if you don't have it, take it out. Just take it out. It's easy. It's easy. A couple other new cards we need to take a look at here. We got Show of Confidence, which is a very nice card, and I love the mechanic that is on this card today. Sorry, we've been seeing this mechanic a lot. Whenever you cast a spell, or whenever you cast this spell, copy it for each other instant and sorcery spell you've cast this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. And this one reads, you know, put a +1/+1 counter, and target creature gains vigilance, which is nice. But the nicest thing about these spells is the fact that it allows our Magecraft to just continuously proc, right? We can play 2 spells, and we can end up proccing Magecraft 3 times, and those 2 spells could be like a Defiant Strike and a Show of Confidence. So we're getting +2/+2 from Show of Confidence. We're getting +1/0 from Defiant Strike. We're getting +2/+2 from our Clever Luminancers. You know, +1/+1 from Leon and Lightscribe. So the damage, it just adds up so quickly. All right. And then, of course, Study Break allows you to maneuver through your opponent's creatures, tap up to 2 target creatures, instant speed for 2 mana, and you get to learn. The fact that this is a common is actually insane. We've seen this level of value in things that were, well, much higher in mana cost. I won't say in value cost, because I don't think I've ever seen a rare thing that does this kind of stuff, but you know what I mean. Study Break, really good. Again, allowing you to learn. Hop over here, find what you want. A lot of the times you'll be grabbing Expanded Anatomy, as it is your strongest, heaviest hitting spell over here. But, you know, gaining a creature or being able to take out something of the opponent's, it's always nice. Outside of that, you know, just beat down your opponent. Play what makes sense. If you have a Clarion Spirit, try to get it down first and then follow it up with another spell. It's very basic deck, and that's why I think even if you're newer to Magic and you don't have some of these older rare wild cards, you know, you don't have to worry about the Faceless Haven as much, because it is just a land, and while it will help you in some niche scenarios, it's not going to be the end-all be-all of the deck, right? So you don't have to worry about that. I would recommend picking up a Lotus if you don't have one. Just in general, it's a fun card. It's a great fun card to play with, so just that. And then, you know, Leon and Lightscribe. So 4 rares all together of what I'm actually recommending, and then the 2, if you got them, use them. You know what I mean? Outside of that, I hope you all have enjoyed this deck tech breakdown. Sorry, it's a little bit of a longer one, but y'all know whenever I do budget decks, I'm aiming these a little bit more so at newer players. Yes, of course, older players that are playing on a budget can, you know, use these and utilize them. But I assume everyone knows how YouTube works. If you want to skip ahead from the deck tech breakdown, you won't hurt my feelings, and you'll get, you know, to the matches quicker, and so it's sort of like a win-win. But if you're newer here and you don't know how a deck works, and then nobody ever explains it to you, then you're just going to be lost at sea, you know, the entire time you're trying to play, right? And that just doesn't seem fair to me. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If so, please be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section, and of course, subscribe if you're new here and you want more awesome content from yours truly. Now, without further ado, let's dive into this budget Magecraft aggro deck, shall we? Cheloni. Kind of like baloney, but cheesy, I guess. I don't know. We only have 1 land here. Do I keep a 1 land hand? I gotta say no, right? Gotta say no to the 1 land hand. I mean, this all looks fine. I'm actually thinking I toss back a land. Yeah, I'm gonna toss back a land. I think we'll be all right. Turn 1, we'll get down the Luminancer. Turn 2, you know, we'll have protection for said Luminancer. Maybe I'll wait on the Luminancer, right? Yeah, because it's my only creature, and I don't trust them to not have removal. They just played down a mountain turn 1. Feeling a little mono reddish. Is it? That's fine. Is it plays giants as well, so they foretell. Foretelling. You foretell them. I don't know. Clever Luminance are gonna get down on the board. We still have the 1 mana for the fight as 1. Fantastic. Alright, beautiful. Beautiful. Well, maybe. Game is lagging bad this morning. Lagging bad. Alright, Fire Prophecy didn't have too much of an effect on us. I do want to cast this, but well, hell. Yeah, I think we cast it. Alright, so that's good damage there. This way, if we draw into a land, I can play Study Break potentially into a Show of Confidence, so that could be good. Though I'm a little worried. Our opponent may not be playing creatures at all, in which case Study Break not going to be that great for us. We'll have to see, though. Chaloni, what you got for me? What do you have foretold out there, I wonder? Is it an All Runs Epiphany? Or a Saw It coming? What you got? Seize the Spools? You know, I'm a fan of that card. Could also be Is It Dragons? They have been making a little bit of a comeback, or I guess just a come up, right? We had Is It Drakes a while back. Not necessarily the same, but you know. No lands for us. That's yeah. So playing Magic, right? This is fun. Woo. All right, Chaloni. Solve the equation. That's not good for us. It's like a Storm's Wrath waiting to happen. Crackle with power. It's a little bit of a stranger one, but sure. We're going to try this out. And we're going to put all the counters onto the Clarion Spirit. That way it can have more life, more power. The basic land would be kind of nice. You know what I mean? We're going to go for the basic land. It'll put us to 4, which means our Study Break, Show of Confidence will finally be able to be played. We'll be able to play down Lotus and get down a card thereafter, you know, once we're to that point. And we'll deal 7 damage this turn. We weren't going to deal lethal either which way, so we're not too concerned on the damage front. But, you know, this does solve a little bit of our mana issue. Hopefully. Also, I do apologize for the frog in my throat today. Y'all know I've been recording a lot for this channel, second channel, and then trying to get some videos ready for future endeavors. Iron Greg! Nice. I see where they're going with this. They're gonna crackle us with power right in the face. Bam! Right in the kisser. Alright, so 15 damage to face, right? I think. Or... No, I think they have lethal. No, 20? 20 damage? It's gotta be 20, right? It's 20. Alrighty. Well, that was something. Something. I'm gonna pop you up here. Alright, this is the best shot that I got, alright? We're on 2 life. They do have a Bone Crusher. I would actually require another land here, and I think I could win. Oh no, because as soon as I go to target the Bone Crusher... Right. Okay, well, I could pull Lourdes over and plop Lourdes down. Does give us a defender that can block out the Bone Crusher. So I just pop up Faceless and attack. Only have 2 mana left over, but it would force them to block. Alright. I'm gonna do this. Like I said, I think this forces them to block. And if, you know, if they got something like a Brazen Bar or any of that kind of stuff, like, we would have lost regardless of what we chose to do. So we're gonna go for the Faceless plays. I think it's a little more in your face and less dependent on them not having removal, right? So take that out. Now we do lose a land, so we can't pull Lourdes over and play Lourdes down on the next turn. But as long as I don't have another Bone Crusher, we're all right, right? We're all right. I might even use this just so I can learn. I guess we're just creating an Inkling, right? Inkling summoning. So yeah, we can do this and we can pull the Lourdes over. Alrighty. Well, you know, the opponent's not necessarily on a timer, but we're doing it. We're living. Sorta. Oh no, Dual Strike. Don't have a deal 1 damage. Fire Prophecy. But why? You know, why Dual Strike the Fire Prophecy? It didn't. You were never gonna get 2 uses out of that. Am I crazy? Was there a reason for that? Crack. Alright, they got us. GG. That was close though. Control Axel? Control. Yeah, I think it looks like Axel. We'll keep this hand. We got 2 clever Luminancers into a feat of resistance. Resistance. Do we get to go first? I hope so. This is the kind of hand that you want to go first with. Alright. Let's go, clever Luminancer. Now the question is, do I play down my other clever Luminancer on this turn? Next turn we're gonna have 3 mana. I mean, yeah, I think we go ahead and load the board. A fair amount of me says save the mana for the Feat of Resistance. But yeah, it looked like a mono white aggro deck, and so with that in mind, we should go ahead and spend it. Alright, so I think we just swing in here and allow Feat of Resistance to carry us. And if we don't end up needing it, then next turn we can cast it and use Show of Confidence as well come next turn, right? So, we'll go ahead and boast here since they didn't block, and then, you know, we got a little defender on the backside of that. Not gonna lie, I almost pressed the key to record, which would have stopped the recording. That would have been bad, that would have been annoying. Alrighty, 4-4. 4-4, sure, some more. I guess we keep Feat of Resistance now that I got 2 of these things, right? Or just boost something up really, really high. To boost up the Usher, actually, because it has the most damage. I mean, the Luminancers are gonna get their damage. I don't want to say anything. That's not what I was trying to do. So I'll put it to 4-4. And that thing's going to get 1 more power next time. So I actually have to target it again. A little annoying. But, you know, now it'll be big enough to take out their creature. Also, we're dealing a ton of damage. Like, how much is that? They're down to 4 life. Let's go. We also have the Usher to, you know, do a little Traderino. And we have Feet, which can give our creature protection from white. And we can just sort of slip right by them. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Alrighty. Let's see. Let's see if it's that easy. If it's that cheesy. It is. Let's go. I like that. Nice and easy. Tombs or tomes or Toomies. There's 2 of me's. Get it? Anyways, we're gonna keep this hand. We got to turn 1 creature, we got to turn 2 creature, and I got a lot of spells to, you know, boost them up there in the middle. So happy to see it. Happy, happy, happy. We are going up against the Snorion, Boreon, Yorion. I will say though that they're playing Abzan, so you get a little tip of the hat for me at least. A little tip-a-rooski. I'm just going to trade the 1-1. I want to play the Clarion Spirit next turn when I can go ahead and proc it, when I can have the Fight as 1 mana available, potentially. I just don't want to get Heartless acted. I don't want them to treat it so cold. It's, you know, it's a brand new card. Leave it alone. Alright. Clarion Spirit. Now, if they're smart, they'll try and remove my Usher before Clarion hits, right? So that way Fight as 1 doesn't actually proc the Clarion. Granted, I still get to do extra damage, and I still have a human down, so I do get to put it on both creatures there. We'll see. Erebos' Intervention. -1/-1 until end of turn. Yeah, I think we still just use Fight as 1, right? Or we could even use Guiding Voice. No, that's sorcery. Ah. Alright, fantastic. So we'll swing in here for 4 damage. We'll keep our creatures alive. We didn't get to proc the spirit, but yeah, it's alright. It is okay. So they're actually 4 color? Interesting. Interesting. So for 2 mana, I give one of my creatures +2/+1. I'm going to give it to the token because I care least about the token, so buffing it up, to me, makes the most sense. Counter target spell, searches. Alright, we resolved that. That's an easy one. Easy. The nice thing about this test of talents is the fact that it's a counter spell that also reveals the opponent's hand. That alone is strong. Counter spell and reveal hand. Like, what? I actually don't need to use Fight as 1. I could potentially save it, but they're going to be at 4 mana, which means they could just have the exile effect on the next turn, so And I think I put it on the even card, because again, if they have the exile, if they have that, if they have that extinction event, they're probably going to hit odds, which will leave our Clarion Spirit and take out all of this stuff. Oh no, they would definitely hit even, because these are token... I'm so silly. I'm sorry. I should have put that on Usher. For the same reasoning, though, right? If they have the extinction or whatever, I do what I want, then, you know, it's not a good thing. Anyways, I think we can just study break and maybe fight as one to victory here, right? Just the one. Just the one. We'll take an expanded anatomy, a little fight as one, action, bam, bam, bam. That should be lethal. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Also, I don't know what kind of Yorion deck that is, but hey, I'll take 2 back-to-back victories in like 7 minutes.